our keynote speaker. She is Mrs. Funmilayo, known as Queen of Port Administration. Please put your hands together for her.
Thank you very much. A beautiful and bright morning to all of us. I want to stand on the already established protocol, and I sincerely want to offer my apologies. A case of domestic accident, oil poured on my daughter's leg, and I just needed to play the mother's role. Though she's an adult, 25 years, I needed to just at least be there for her this morning. It happened at the grandma's place yesterday, and she came home late last night. So early this morning I needed to do that, so my apologies. It's not in my character to turn up late for events. Having said that, I need to acknowledge my madam at the top. Whatever accolades I might be receiving today, I owe it to some women of repute that were given the opportunity of being port managers in the history of Nigerian Ports Authority. And because they did well, they paved the way for someone like me to now emerge as the longest served port manager in the history of Nigerian Ports Authority. So Chief Mrs. Carol Inferior, thank God I have my hat on. So ma'am, the salute for you. Thank you, ma'am. And for all women here present, thank you, ma'am, for being the best in your respective careers. All girl children here present, I love you all. All the men, our daddies, I'm a traditional African woman. Yes. So when they say ladies first, I'll always tell my husband, after the men in Nigeria. When you people are over there, you can do whatever. So for all daddies in the house, Ekuwajisa. You are the head, you are the neck. And me, I love being the neck because I know it is wherever the neck turns that the head will go. Sure you understand? So please don't compete, just submit. And in that submission, you will be exalted. Thank you. So, while we're here, the blue economy and the future of the girl child. I was thinking we'll be able to have it projected. I sent it earlier. And I'm going to give a brief about myself, the synopsis of what I'm going to talk about. And we have some posers before we go to the conclusion. And they've introduced me. Mrs. O, as popularly called in MPA, after 35 years of serving in a male-dominated industry and having to work maybe 4 times as much as your male counterparts before your your much effort can be mildly acknowledged. Yes, that is our history, not just me. I'm sure same goes to all the women who are here. So I was employed in MP in 1988. Don't mind me, I don't have any scruples about my age. I turned 58 years just November 12, and legends are born in November. Early November in the house. Yes. Yeah. Love you, we are legends. Yes. And what has been the history, what has been the profile of Mrs. O? My particular emphasis was on debt recovery, revenue generation. 2002, recovered 27 million naira, and because of that, I was posted out of the port. Yes. That 27 million, even if it is the 7 million on top, all of us would have shared it. And at the award ceremony where they asked me to come with my husband, I was crying because they were busy abusing me to my hearing and to the hearing of my husband for recovering 27 million naira. Those were part of the challenges we faced, but we stood for what we believe in. Yes, I went to Ikeda Grammar School, Oshodi, a pioneer student of Ogun State University, now Labisi Onobanjo. Then a grandmother, a mentor. I don't look it at me, don't mind me, Jare. But I love it. So now to the meat of our business. Who is a girl? That's what I want to start from. Who is a girl? A girl is defined as a female child or adolescent. A female child. Okay, if I can have it, that would be nice. A female child and adolescent. And who is a child? A young human being below the age of puberty or legal age of majority. The next one will now be, what is puberty? It is the period when adolescents attain sexual maturity and are capable of reproduction. Sincerely, I love to learn because some of the pictures I desire to use them as illustrations so that we can talk to ourselves. And we have some pictures of girl children there. That's talking about who is a girl child. Now, what is the concept of this blue economy we are talking about? All of a sudden, everywhere is agog news. There is a Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. Stakeholders are happy in the maritime sector because now they've given us a ministry, specifically for us, not hiding us under the Ministry of Transportation. But there is a concept of the blue economy. And before the blue economy, we've actually had a green economy. There was a green economy, talking about, getting money from the environment. But now we have the concept of the blue economy. And the founder of this blue economy we are talking about is Gunther Pauli, a Belgian entrepreneur, economist, and author, born in 1956 in Antwerp, Belgium. And the concept of blue economy is originated from the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development held in Rio de Janeiro in 2012, UNCTAD 2014 report. The term blue economy has been used in different ways, and similar terms such as ocean economy or marine economy are used without clear definitions until now. So what is the blue economy? The World Bank gave us a definition saying that it is sustainable use of ocean resources to benefit economies, livelihoods, and ocean. And I want us to mark those three words. It is the sustainable use of ocean resources to benefit first economies, livelihoods, and the ocean. So, from the definition above, I deduced as follows, my deductions please. 1, when you talk of economy, you are talking of the national growth of a nation, because that is what sustains a nation. What is our GDP? When you talk of livelihoods, you are talking of the people there and the well-being of those people in that particular country. And when you talk of the ocean, we are talking of ecosystem health, preservation of nature. Nigeria has a huge coastal line, but are we actually maximizing the prospect of that huge ocean line? We'll make references to that later. And there is this popular quote that he who controls the oceans controls the trade, and he who controls the trade controls the world. And with our own huge ocean that we have across the country, are we really in charge of those oceans? Are we in charge of our waters? We have MPA, we have NIWA, we have other subsidiaries. Are we really in charge of our waters? Illegal fishing is still taking place in Nigeria. Nobody is holding them accountable. I once had a Belgian associate, and when we went to the port of Antwerp, he was boasting to me that, do you know that the fish we eat here, we fish in Nigeria and I send it to my family at home? And I was like, how are you able to do that? He said, because your systems are porous. Painful, but true. I want us to note that. So, when we talk of national growth, we talk of the people's well-being, and we talk of the preservation of nature. And we bear at the back of our minds what I said earlier about that popular quote, that he who controls the oceans controls the trade and ultimately controls the world. Let's begin to think of those things and we'll relate it to the girl chart later. So by implication, all economic activities associated with the oceans and seas must benefit a country, its populace, and its nature. But here, what do? We dump inside our own waters. When you get to either Marina, Papa, or wherever, forget about water arson. I'm talking of waste, bottles, so many things. And we have so many, other things under wrecks under the waters that oftentimes, if not for the efforts of the government agencies, would have been giving us huge accidents, which is the one that everybody knows about. Maybe because of the ports. That is what everybody is talking about. Maritime shipping, but it's just one aspect of the blue economy. We have fishing and aquaculture. I just referenced what that Belgian said and the way we are not managing our water space. Aquaculture, it's a form of tourism. Coastal tourism. Can we even move? Because of security, we are not able to move around the way we would have loved to. Renewable energy, water desalination, undersea cabling, seabed extractive industries, deep sea mining, marine genetic resources, and biotechnology. Those are the areas that this blue economy we are talking about covers. And as we are talking to ourselves today, pardon me all the boys in the house, I have 2 boys and 2 girls. Pardon, the last one is now 25 years. So when I say boys and girls, they get angry. But to me, they are still boys and girls, irrespective of their ages. So as we are talking about the girl child, I don't want the boys in the house to feel we do not care about you. We care about you. And I'm going to reference that because it will appear as if we are putting so much energy on the girl child, and we are not preparing our boys to be able to meet up with the level of the girls that we are raising. So parents here, take notes. Don't put too much emphasis on the girl child at the expense of the boy child. Every child is unique, every child is important, every child can turn around the tables if we put them in the right direction. So, prospects for the girl child. Education. The blue economy can provide girls with access to STEM education and training, preparing them for careers in marine science, oceanography, maritime engineering, and other blue economy related fields. I will say this as an aside. If I ask my madam and other women that I know in the port industry, we entered the maritime industry by accident, not out of desire. I found myself in NPA. Not because I desired to work in Nigeria Port Authority, but because of looking for jobs, whatever, I found myself in NPA, and down the line, a lot of intensive in-house training, exposure to port operations. I found myself first in the billing, right in the office, where we are to interpret operations and make sure that the right rates are applied for the economy of the country through the NPA. And over the years, like I said, because some women ahead of us, Miss Egareva, so many Mrs. Ezeoke, they paved the way. They started looking for us. Princess Aroloye. In fact, she said during our own days, all the restrooms were male denominated. So they had to go outside the port when they needed to use restrooms. There was no special male-female restrooms. It was that bad. And the highest a woman could aspire there would be a traffic manager. That was level 14. And that settles it. But today we can get to the peak of our career as general managers. So, yes, thank you for that. So there are opportunities for education. But what are we putting out to the girl child there? Sometimes we are so restrictive. I had this funny encounter. One of my cousins was dating an air hostess. And he happens to be a marine engineer. So one of our other cousins from the north came visiting, and she said, "Auntie me," I said, "Yes. This marriage cannot work." I said, "Why?" "I should make sure that Brother Olu does not marry this lady." I said, "Why?" She said, "She's an air hostess. He is a marine engineer. So one will be in the air, another one will be on the water." But the one that made me to roll in laughter was our reasons for the concern. Guess what? So if we go and visit them at home, who will prepare meals for us as the outcome? And I'm like, "Excuse me." So your own is because when you go there as a sister-in-law, you must have someone to cook for you. And that's why you don't want an air hostess and a marine engineer to marry. I'm just talking of mindsets. Mindsets that we have. Your daughter says she wants to be a marine engineer, and your brain is like, okay, where do they work? In an office? No. She's going to be on board a ship? Yes. There will be men on board that ship? Yes. Will that ship always be at anchor? No. The ship will be on the ICs? Yes. Where there will be nobody, if anything goes wrong, she cannot say, "Let me rush out," because when you rush out of the ship and you are on the, where can you jump into the water? And I'm sure an average parent will not want that for his or her girl child. True or false? So we are limiting them. We are not allowing them to be the best of who God has created them to be. And thank God for those women who have done the impossible. We are talking of first female general in the army, first female pilots. Before, we are only good at serving tea in the aircraft and putting that plastic smile. Even when the passengers are misbehaving, they are always right. But today we have women,
flying the aircraft. And I can tell you, at APMT in Apapa, we have female crane operators. And I'm not talking of the smaller ones, no. Female crane operators that can lift 20-foot laden containers. At the last International Women's Day in the port, we honored them, 3 of them. And after those 3, we now have about 9 as at the time I left. From 3 to 9. So you can see what we can do when we give the girl child the right education. A recent study by the World Bank found that girls who complete secondary education are 6 times more likely to be employed than girls who do not. Maybe in the south, in the east, we can say we are there. But if we are all Nigerians, and there is a girl child out in the north who has been married out at the age of 9, whose interest does not matter, who is seen just as a reproductive element, I dare say we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Education, that is the first one. To fully harness the potential of the blue economy for girls, several strategies can be implemented. We can encourage girls to pursue subjects in school, providing them with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed in blue economy careers. We can project people who are accomplished in those maritime spaces so that they can know that if these women can do it, they can also do it. Skills development and training. We can provide girls with access to vocational training and skills development programs tailored to the needs of the blue economy. And I dare say this program, this Fit Educators Forum of Ocean Ambassadors, is one of such programs, exposing the girl child and other children. Yes, let's applaud them. Let's applaud them. It's a step in the right direction. Empowerment. The blue economy also provides a fertile ground for women to start and run their own businesses, creating wealth and generating employment opportunities. A study by the World Bank also shows that women-owned businesses in the blue economy are more likely to be sustainable and create jobs than businesses owned by men. And you know why? We are not sentimental. Yes, we say it the way it is. Oftentimes we are not liked. Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady, I don't know if there are some in the house. Those are the appellations they give to us because we want to make sure that round pegs are put in round holes, square pegs are put in square holes, and everybody is delivering on whatever task you have been assigned. I tell females while I was in the port, when you are pregnant, don't use it to harass me. I got married on the job. I took in 4 times and had 4 children while on the job. And I still did my work the way it should be done. So don't use that belly and start thinking, oh, madam, are you not human? Can't you see? Me too, I had. And I had a boss, Mr. Sanga, that even while I was pregnant, we were going on inspections. I was climbing this tanker. Yes, we were to go and check this. I was the secretary, was the chairman. So I got there and I stayed down. And he was like, secretary, I said, sir. They said we should check. I said, yes, sir. The men will go and come and say, you want to write a report? But that day I was not properly dressed because I wasn't wearing trousers. So he said, we will not do the inspection today, we will do it tomorrow, and you better make sure you are properly dressed. And I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir, no, they spoil work. So the next day I came, properly dressed, and I had to climb. I've used the Jacob's ladder to board a vessel. If you don't know the meaning of Jacob's ladder, it's a ladder made of ropes. So you will be on a smaller canoe, and they will drop the Jacob's ladder from the ship, as huge as the ship is. You will hold the Jacob's ladder, you put your first leg on it, and you are saying the Lord's Prayer inside of you and all the sound that you can remember, and you are taking it one step at a time until you climb and board the ship. And when I did, the captain of the ship, because I was the only female, that has always been my lot in most cases. When I got on board the ship, he put on his hat and he said, Miss, I'm giving you a salute. And I said, thank you. And I took a picture for memories. Why have I shared that? When we are asking for opportunities, it will not be doled out. We must merit it. We must work for it. Don't say because I'm a woman, come and give it to me. But when they call you out to come and do certain things, then you better make sure you show up, and you're not only showing up, you do the needful. And if you have the I can spirit, believe you me, truly you can. Hope you are listening to me. I'm particular about the younger ones, please. You can do it. You can be there. You can be the first female president. Don't say it is impossible, it is possible. Believe in yourself and you will get there. So gender responsive policies and programs that governments and international organizations are developing must ensure that these programs from the beginning promote women's participation in the blue economy. And there are initiatives that can encourage them to put in their best where they have found themselves. Another aspect for the future of the girl child and the blue economy is mentorship, or mentoring and networking opportunities. Again, I don't have it because I have some pictures there. I have Aliza Bala Osman, the first female managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority. And today, she's not a minister, but all ministers are answerable to her. Why? The little time she had at the NPA, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the hurdles, in spite of the attacks, she made a mark. And that mark spoke when it mattered most. She didn't lobby. She's there. And Mr. President said it. If you have issues with her, come and tell me. If she tells me you are not performing, I am sorry for you. Is that not a super minister? Though she's not a minister. So when you give in your best, believe you me, you will be acknowledged and you will be celebrated. And you will have an opportunity to tell others that, see, you also can get there. Integrity counts. I have Princess Vicky Astrop. She's the president of the STOAN, Ships and Terminal Operators Association of Nigeria. I have Madam Mfon Usoro, the president of CILT. My Mrs. Ufere is there, a diamond of Vista. I have the MD of Lador, Jade Sola, Dr. Amy. I saw her on CNN, I was dazed when she was answering questions. And she's here in Nigeria. She's heading an offshore terminal. A female. So you can also do it. And so many others. So we need to provide opportunities for our girls to be mentored, for our girls to be encouraged, for them to have the appropriate networking. Don't live here and be afraid or timid to say, ma'am, please can I have your number? Should you get it? I'm not talking about me, anybody here present. Should you get it, make the best out of it. I could call Mrs. Ufere, ma'am, I'm having this challenge. How did you handle it? She handled a port in Port Harcourt. Even in our papa, at some point, she was the acting port manager. So these are people that went ahead of us. And we had that opportunity of being able to contact and connect with them. There was a day she called me out of the blues. In retirement, I said, Mrs. O, I've been given an assignment, but I'm not going to be available. I want you to go and represent me. And I said, my madam, retired or serving, you are my madam for life. Consider it done. Those are the opportunities we are talking about. Why did she call me? I'm not the only female she must have met while she was in Nigerian Ports Authority. But she looked at the sensitivity of the assignment. And within that, she could conclude, this is one person that I know will deliver, and I will have peace of mind. Ultimately, she still made it to that event, but she just said, I've asked you to do it, go ahead and do it. And looking back, seeing her seated was the needed boost and encouragement for me. So we need to mentor our girls, and we need to give them networking opportunities. The Ocean Ambassador Foundation connects girls with women leaders in the maritime industry and other areas. And we are saying kudos to you once more. Awareness of blue economy and the opportunities. Microfinance and entrepreneurship support. We can offer girls and young women access to financial resources and business support services to enable them to start and run their own business in the blue economy. The picture I have here is of a woman who has just caught a fish in a boat on the water, and she was raising that fish. And I'm like, yes, at the end of the day, she will now go to the water side at Marina. And one Mrs. Olotu will be coming from her papa, going for a meeting in Marina, and I will see her. And because of the culture we have, I will overprice. I will want to negotiate. Why? Because I'm seeing her as an ordinary fisherwoman who needs to sell that particular piece of fish for sustenance for that day, not even for tomorrow. But when we go to all the big supermarkets and the prices are there, have you ever said, excuse me, can you bring down this price a bit? Have you done that? No. You are even ashamed. In fact, you take it, you look at it very well, so you don't get to the cashier, and have you noticed that at the cashier desk you see so many abandoned property? You desire it, but at the point of payment, you realize that the pockets cannot measure up with what I've put here. But when you see that woman or that young girl, those we call them girls, with smoked fish on their heads, they are from the riverine areas, but they are not benefiting from the economy of the waters. We need to reach out to such girls. Investing in innovation and technology, we need to ensure that we empower them to the extent that mobile apps are being used to provide women with information on fishing markets, weather patterns, while blockchain technology is being used to improve traceability and transparency in seafood supply chains. I used to tell my children while they were growing up, whatever you want to be, I don't care, but you will go to school. Because your level of education will determine the level of clientele you will have in any business you will do. So that's why you have that mechanic, and he wants to write bushing. You know the way they spell when they give you their estimates, and none of us will be laughing. But when you go to a reputable mechanical workshop, nobody is writing anything there. It passes through from their system. They tell you what's wrong with the car. They give you your bill. So we need such apps, such technology to also ensure that our girls and our boys too are rightly positioned to compete in this economic world. Advocacy. Raising awareness and advocacy among girls and their families about the opportunities available in the blue economy, and for policies that promote gender equity in the sector. I said gender equity, not gender equality. I need to draw that difference. I do not desire to equate myself with a man. We can say it's what a man can do, a woman can do better, and I'm smart, but there are certain things a man can do that a woman cannot do. It is a man that can impregnate a woman cannot impregnate herself. And for my girls here present, can I tell you something? When you allow yourself to be messed up by any boy, any man, any person, any male species, let me put it that way, of humanity, you get pregnant, two options: you want to abort, you are mortgaging your future. You carry the pregnancy, the boy is still going to school, you are the one that is hiding. Am I talking to someone here? Close your laps. There is a time to open them with dignity, and you'll be respected. And you do not know what God has in store for you. So when you mess up your future, when you mess up your present, you are mortgaging your future. I watched one movie recently, Personal Assistant, featuring Bimbo Ademoye. And in all the narrative, at the end of the day, all the girls lost. Oh, she slept with a big Alaji. And madam that wanted the contract slept with. So at the end of the day, all the girls lost and all the men won. You know why? Because men are very focused. Yes. We had a story while we were in the system, if you remember, of one of our guys that took a girl to the hotel from the office. So the man got back to the office, the lady came in later, and the man said they should give her a query for coming back late from a break. Meanwhile, he was the one that took her out to sleep with her. Are you that gullible? I'm talking of advocacy. Advocacy is also part of having that knowledge that you are unique, you are a brand. Oftentimes when I go out, I use this, it's my brand. I'm a daddy's girl. Against all odds, my father trained me. He had a friend that told him not to send me to school. Yes. And my father said no. I will send her to school. And when I graduated, that same friend gave me a Parker pen. When I learned how to drive, my dad, when I pay him a visit, he will tell me he wants to go and buy something from a city shop. He will sit at the owner's corner and I will be driving. Then he will not buy from any of the pharmaceutical shops close to our own house. He will ask me to go to that his friend's place. And when we are passing in front of my father's friend's house, he will ask me to, yes. So the man will come out. Don't let me say the names. I never can tell. I say, I'm coming. Me and Funmilayo, we are going down there. Then we'll go. When we get to the end of the road, they will tell me to turn. And I said, Daddy, are we not buying? He said, no, I want him to see that the girl he asked me not to trade is the one driving. So when we are going now, you now pause. I'm not coming out of the car, just stop in front of his house. So we'll turn. I will stop in front of the house. The man will come. We'll be talking to the man from the my father. He's late now, but I love him. I still love him. Dad, I hope you're happy up there. See your girl. So what am I saying? My father believed in me. And here I am today. That other man that did not train the girl, she took him, and I'm sure at the end of the day, children for about 2-3 different men. Don't let us waste the lives of our young girls. So the advocacy should go beyond talking. The advocacy should go beyond going on trek, or we are moving on the roads. No. The advocacy should start from people like Mr. Fadipe, who is now a director in Shippers Council. And I want to ask him, how many women do you have under you? There are 7 ports in Nigeria today. There is not a single woman as a port manager in those 7 ports. I'll come back to that later. The advocacy should be to the government to ensure that the right platforms are provided for the girl child to excel. And like I said, equity and equality are not the same thing. Equality is like you want to equate yourself. Equity is being given the same opportunities, the same platform. I'm short, you are tall. They ask us to fix a ball. Of course, the taller person will do it faster than me. But because they know I'm short, what should they do? They should give me a ladder. That is equity. But equality is not saying I want to be like that tall person. No. My uniqueness can be turned around to ensure that I'm able to achieve whatever task have been assigned to me. Gender balance. Girls and young women are disproportionately affected by poverty, marginalization, abuse, lack of access to education, lack of access to finance, and we must take deliberate steps to empower them through the blue economy, which presents a unique opportunity to address these challenges and promote gender equity and sustainable development. At the Worcester seminar recently held in VI, I got this magazine and I was reading through it. And they asked Captain Emmanuel Yenacho, a maritime legend, that, are women given opportunity to develop professionally in the maritime industry? Let me read the response. There was no law that stopped women from developing, similar to men. So it was just by tradition that people went to see happen to be men. And if you look at the way we do things in our society, people will frown upon a woman going to work on board a ship, going from port to port, not subject to usual perception that is provided by the whole environment. But it went further to say, whatever position women get will depend on what they are bringing to the job, which confirms what I said earlier. Don't just brand your femininity, please. And don't be the tea server at those conferences and seminars. I did it too. We are there, whatever is said, and you have a male boss, without being asked on your own. You talk to the tea girl, okay, care for tea, care for coffee, and he takes it. And before you know it, that is MD. ED too, you will serve ED. You will serve GM. You will serve AGM. You will serve principal manager. Carry your own poise. Be your own self. Sit in such a way that when they want to ask for that thing, they will take a second look before they say, yes. Ultimately, I became Mrs. O because I was deliberate about how people addressed me. If you call me Fumi, I won't answer you. I'll tell you it's my father that calls me Fumi. Because some people used to take advantage of that. So I insisted, call me Mrs. O. You are my girl, but call me Mrs. O. I'm not saying you should call me Madam. So please, gender balance, we need it. And from that statement of Captain Nacho, let's make sure we bring the best there. Now, my posers, what are the prospects for the girl child in the Nigerian maritime space? I will soon wrap up. And women generally. What are the statistics in the Blue Economy Ministry? We have a female PAP sector. The directors, how many of them are women? Let's think of it. The heads of the MDAs, MPA, male. NIMASA, male. NIWA, male. Shippers Council. Where are the women? Don't we have them? Of course we do. No woman for now. The managers of the 7 ports in Nigeria, no woman for now. Are we lacking in availability? The answer is no. Are we lacking in capabilities? The answer is also no. Are we lacking in competency? The answer is capital no. So what is the missing link? There are so many women platforms. Wistar, WIMA, WILADS, so many. But the question is this. Are they designed for silos or team achievement? You know, when you work in silos, everybody is seeking individual recognition. But when you work as a team, that's what team, the acronym, together everyone achieves more. Team, together everyone achieves more. So we need all these women platforms to come together and see how we can provide the needed platform for our young girls. Men don't have many associations. The International Men's Day just passed. I'm sure some men did not even remember. But International Women's Day, 8th of March, everybody will remember. Mothering Sunday for those in Anglican. Mother's Day for those of the US. Yes, and we will dress. We will have so many pictures. So what have we used to influence our gender? From all those things. When a man goes to Island Club, don't think he's going there to drink beer. No. He's going there to network for businesses worth millions. And over that, their glass of beer, it is sealed. But here we are. A man will pass by another man. They don't know each other. Hi, guy. They do the back, blah, blah, blah. Chop knuckles, Abi. A woman passes by a woman. And the first thing is an appraisal for Mexico. What's she putting on? Is that wig Brazilian? Is it Italian? Is it Barbados? Is it whatever? They are checking the shoes. They are checking the whatever. Even her makeup is not right. Why is she using black eyebrow? That is what she wants to use for crying out loud. But and how is that your headache? I tell people I've stopped taking Panadol for somebody else's headache. So can we begin to move out and stop this puller down syndrome? And come together. If we come together, the men will run. Hey, okay. Go and ask those who are polygamists. When they see first wife, second wife coming together doing tete, the man starts having, because he knows it's no longer safe. But he tries when they are fighting each other. So please, let's come together. Let's re-strategize. I chose to be here today. It was a choice to support a fellow woman. And that is Honorable Lighton Williams. And I'm sure my madam too chose to be here today because there's the CILT conference coming. Yes. But I told her I will be here for you and for those girls and for the boys as well. I'll still address that. And that choice is to speak to young and vibrant minds and challenge them to be the best of themselves. That if a Mrs. Olotu, I used to be timid though, don't think I've been like this. I used to be timid though, I used to be shy. But they taught me the hard way. The maritime sector taught me the hard way. I had to learn to find my voice. Stature I don't have. Sometimes they will come and say, oh, come and talk to this copper that you people have kept here. So when they come, they will discover that the madam is the copper. I took my family portrait, I placed it on my desk in one of the locations where I served as a junior officer. And the clients came in and said, hey, she desires to be married. She's not keeping her elder sister's frame on the table. Okay, no worry, God will do your own. I've eaten at midnight. I've done all the things they said fat people should not do, so that I could look the part. It did not come. So I had to come to a stage in my life to accept that God did not make a mistake, packaging me the way He had packaged me. And the onus was now on me to look for the strength of this, my physique, and use it to my own advantage. So that is part of the reason of this thing on my head. If I enter anywhere and you see this, you will notice me. Yes. You may not remember any other person in this room, but me, you will notice. Yesterday I went to a function, it was not funny. 60th birthday of a friend. Everybody dressed in native. Yes, I want my own gown, less material mixed with ashoki. I put this federal hat on my head and I took the pele, I put it on my shoulder. If you don't like it, go to hell. That is my own identity. God has created you in a unique way. Identify it. You are good at speaking, please speak. You are good at reading, read and use it to impact. Oh, my mom is here, please, let's do something. A choice to speak to you and challenge you to be the best of yourself. A choice to be an additional voice in the clamor for gender equity and not a demand for equality. Equity is fair, it is impartial. The other one is more of parity, and we are not talking of parity here. In conclusion, a quote on blue economy says, blue economy does not recycle, it regenerates. And based on this quote, I want to charge everyone here present to stop recycling our girls. Yes, if you're a man here, maybe you've been doing it in the past, go and sing no more. Don't tell your friend, I sampled that girl, she's good. Have it at the back of your mind. If that's where your daughter, if that's where your granddaughter, will you do that? And it's not only the men, we have women who are trading in girls, telling their parents, let them come to Lagos. I'm going to empower them, but it's a lie. They are using them for prostitution. Stop recycling our girls. And let us start regenerating. And when we regenerate, we are, bringing out new values out of them. All things are passed away. All things have become new. I want us to leave this event with an intentional commitment to encourage every child, now I did not put girls, to encourage every child out there, male or female, protect them from predators, encourage them to believe in the innate and limitless potentials. Thank you. I want us to lead this event with an intentional commitment to encourage every child out there, male or female, protect them from predators, encourage them to believe in the innate and limitless potentials within them. The only limitations to their accomplishments in life is their refusal to dream and to dream big and make a move towards that dream. Will there be disappointments? Yes, I had them. Will there be frustrations? Yes. Will there be discouragements? Yes. Are you going to say no? No. The blue economy offers a wealth of opportunities for girls and young women, providing them with access to education, employment, and entrepreneurship. It's a rapidly growing sector, and we should all tap into it. And I want to use unfortunately I don't have it, this girl, I don't know how many of you saw her, from the slums of Makoko. Did you read about her? And she said she was the first female graduate from that place. Winners don't quit. Quitters don't win. They get up from their falls and they keep pressing forward. And I encourage all of you, embrace your dreams, be hardworking, and stay focused. As a man thinks, so he is. Thank you all for listening, and God bless.
Arousing. Now that applause, there was no need to call for it because the speech itself called for that applause. I'm sure.